Welcome to HearthBreakers with your hosts Monk Business, Dorothor, Sunny, and Hirudra. Welcome to episode 14 of HearthBreakers, the show where cards are played and hearts are broken. So, it's been a long time since we did an episode last, so why don't we talk a little bit about what people have been up to. Dorothor, what have you been doing?
What I have been doing?
Yes.
Been playing with the cards.
Which cards?
Specifically, I have been playing on the ladder with the cards, and I've been throwing around some mage decks and some hunter and some aggressive warrior deck.
And have you won anything?
Well, I have gotten legend, unlike some other people in this.
And we are obviously not talking about me, but Sonny.
Hey, I have an excuse.
Let's hear your excuse.
Well, I'm pretty much just been focusing on the managing part, but also practicing a lot of decks.
Nice.
I'm really getting excited about Rogue at the moment.
Oh, nice.
And Sonny, why are you looking so flashy today?
And no reason, Dario.
What? I don't get it. The joke went right past me, that's for sure.
Whatever. Just
Okay. Hirudra, what have you been up to?
I've been playing a lot lately, actually. I've been laddering a whole lot. I hit legend really early in the season, and I've been trying to reach a really high rank, and I ended yesterday I think I ended at rank 4 legend, and I've been sitting there now waiting for the season to end to get the WCS points or BlizzCon points thing. I've been playing a lot of decks. I've been playing Control Warrior. I've been tinkering around with some mage thing with Sorcerer's Apprentice. I ended up playing Druid and Midrange Hunter to eventually climb a lot. Outside of ladder, I've been playing the Gaming DK tournaments, and I won one of them, and I think Dorothor won one of them as well. Since our last podcast. And I'm planning to attend the Europe versus China.
You plan to win?
I'm planning to win, obviously. Why else would I join, right? But yeah, there's a lot of competitors, and they are most of them are probably good. Because it's for a really huge event. It's like a trip. If you win one of the qualifiers, it's like a trip to China paid and a chance to win €52,000.
Yeah.
So I'm planning to attend
no
those
Ferrari.
qualifiers.
Isn't it a Ferrari?
Only if your eyes are longer than they are.
Yeah, only Chinese people can win the Ferrari,
Okay.
Yeah.
apparently.
So if the Chinese win, they will get sponsored by some Chinese dude.
They'll get a Ferrari, plus the
okay.
20,000. And if a European win, they will get nothing because you won't get money from China. That's how it works.
Maybe we'll see. But at least it's good exposure.
So that's true.
I'm gonna try to attend that.
Good exposure of China.
I hear that you achieved something very cancerous lately. With 500 wins and stuff.
Oh yeah, I got Golden Hunter. Yeah, that's actually
If you're
the most of
wondering
the
how
wins.
he made a rank 4 legend.
That's how.
Oh, are you
Yeah.
ranked? Oh, that's true.
I was rank 4, but I haven't played because I didn't want to risk dropping. So
So now you're rank 15.
I've just been sitting there. I think I'm rank 15 or something now.
Okay.
But actually, I only played like 30 games with Hunter this season. Most of the games were from previous seasons. But,
So you've always been quite cancerous, not just recently.
I've actually always played a lot of soup.
Natural.
But yeah, I guess people who's followed the channel will know that I was like the big soup player here. I was known for that at least, and Hunter kinda had the same playstyle. So
Sue kind of just stopped working.
Yeah, I've had a lot of seasons where I've been trying to reach really high in Legend, and I just played the meta decks, and Honda was really strong at several times, so naturally I played that a lot.
Yeah. So, for anyone who has been keen with the eyes, you might have noticed a little something at the bottom of the screen, and that's because recently we joined the Danish team called Trick Esport. Woo! Fanfare! Woo!
Yeah.
And
You're
basically,
gonna play some music here when the one comes out.
it probably won't happen though. But what this actually does is enable Dario to play in his tank top, and that's about it actually. No, but yeah, it's an awesome move for us because we now have some huge baggers. And I don't know, Sonny, you're the manager here. Can you talk to us a little bit about what this actually means?
Could you manage to tell us a bit about Tricked?
Oh, the puns.
It's starting early. But yeah, the fact that we're joining Trick actually means a lot to us. It actually means that we actually have sponsors now to support us to going to events that we don't have to get ourselves. So you will already be seeing us. It's already confirmed, right, that we are going to Copenhagen Games.
Yep.
And we will pretty much also look at DreamHacks. Trick is also ready to sponsor us for that. So we'll be looking to those two big events coming up.
Yeah, so we'll basically be attending more big tournaments from now on.
Yeah, exactly.
Outside of also being on a more strict streaming schedule. So more stuff will happen.
More
Yeah,
stuff.
I know both me and Dorotho at least have been streaming more than we've done previously, and I believe we are just gonna intensify it in the future.
Streaming
Perhaps.
intensifies.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm planning to do it quite a lot, probably mostly in the evening. Yeah. That's what works out best for me.
Yeah, cool. So let's move on to what's on everyone's mind this week. Undertaker got nerfed. Fanfare once again.
Last.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Yes.
Oh,
Sad no Honda. Oh.
So yeah, basically Undertaker got changed so that he doesn't get health anymore. So he only grows in attack. And Hirudra, what are your thoughts on this change?
My first thought is that Michael will be really happy about it, because I have heard so much complaining from him about Undertaker. Secondly, I think it was a needed balance. I think the card was simply too strong. Along with Mad Scientist, in Aggro, Mage, and Hunter, that 2-card combo with Undertaker and Mad Scientist were it was so immensely strong that and I think Undertaker was the main problem, but Mad Scientist is certainly a problem as well. I think, but yeah, okay. To this certain change, I think it's actually a good way to change it. They removed the possibility of Undertaker to scale complete out of control. Now you can always kill it with any kind of spell, AoE, Holy Nova, Consecration. It can never go out of range of those cards. Keep of the Grove will kill it as well with the 2 damage. For the impact on the meta game, it hurts Hunter and Sue mostly. I think there are no other decks that plays it a lot. I think there are like mage versions, and some druid versions I've seen as well with it, but it's mostly Hunter and Warlock. I think that will in return help. It will boost druid because those 2 decks were really hard counter, and druid was like the strongest deck already, or one of them at least. And it will help Mech Mage a lot because Mech Mage kind of wants to be the guy with field control, and against Sue or midrange Hunter, they were not able to get board control because both Hunter and Sue was actually faster than the Mech Mage. In general, it helped all the decks that doesn't play Undertaker, of course. But I think especially Druid and Mage gains a lot from it.
I actually played a few games against some hunters that played this still, and to be honest, if they get it on turn 1, it's still very frightening. If you don't have
it is.
Yeah, because you still have to answer it, otherwise it'll just push a shit ton of damage in. But the main difference now is, like you said, that you don't have to rush for killing it, because its health won't grow anymore. So you can always wait a few turns, or you don't have to make it your priority.
Yeah, I think that was kind of my point when I said I think it was a good change, because they nerfed it, so it isn't like unrealistically overpowered as it was before, but it's still strong and can see play, but it's not nerfed to the ground, so it will never be played like some other cards.
Yeah.
I think it's actually nerfed too much.
I actually agree with you.
Because I think currently Blizzard has sort of a policy of nerfing early game cards or aggro cards a lot, like with Soulfire and now with Undertaker and such. It's like if you nerf aggro decks too much, then it's actually unhealthy for the metagame. And I think Undertaker was one of the big aggro cards before. That the aggro decks had to kind of combat the value of control decks. And I think this nerf to Undertaker is a bit too much. I think it's actually going to rotate out of most decks, unless they are like really, really face oriented. Because as you said, it still does the same face damage.
But it just dies more easily.
Yeah, it dies more easily, and you can't actually use it for control right now. Like before, you in some hunter decks and such, you would sometimes use it to trade with it, and gain board control. That's gonna disappear, and it's gonna be more of a face card, and I think that's kind of unhealthy. I would prefer that they did it the way that I envision it to be, where they just swapped the stats. It was a 2-1 instead of a 1-2, because and then keep the same effect, or a 1-1 even, and then I think it would be better. But right now I think it's over nerfed, and I don't think it's going to see much play. And if you look at the tournament that was going on today, post nerf, everyone was
hosted by a mess, right?
The Pinnacle. Everyone was told that the Undertaker nerf was probably going to happen mid tournament or so, and I think nobody played Undertaker. Like I don't think we saw one Undertaker.
I didn't see the match, but I think they spoke of it being played in a Hunter deck. But I didn't see.
Yeah, I think maybe. Yeah, yes, maybe one deck, but like it was definitely underrepresented.
Yeah, compared to what it was before.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, to be honest though, it's just a 1-mana minion, so I don't mind that it got nerfed, because there's a limit to how much a 1-mana minion should really impact the game.
Yeah, of course, but you have to also look at it in comparison to where it fits. Like, it's a 1-mana minion, yes, but it's a aggro 1-mana minion. Like it's a win condition for aggro decks, so to say.
Yeah.
And so you're actually removing like a strong card from many aggro decks, and thus making aggro less prevalent. And if aggro is bad enough, then Hearthstone is going to become really boring.
I don't think so.
I disagree. Yeah. Solely because I think the aggro matchups are often the most, or the least thought intensive.
Yeah, but
that's
course.
Maybe,
but you have to.
But
consider...
of course, it alters the meta game a lot, because late game decks will have a bigger advantage because they won't end up being rushed.
There needs to be a balance between aggro and mid range and late game decks. Like you can't just remove aggro. Then all decks will be late game decks, and it will just be who plays the most greedy deck wins.
That's not entirely true, though.
Well, then I would propose that Undertaker being like, even if it was just removed from the game, that doesn't mean aggro will disappear. It's still just 2 cards.
No, of course not. But it's more like the I guess it's more the design philosophy, I'd say, or or the way they are moving towards. Because, for example, many people talk about Dr. Boom being extremely OP, really good card, and people say it's like the best legendary right now.
Yeah,
I
it
know
is.
some people say.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
agree on that.
and they aren't nerfing that one, and it's not like it's not. I'd say it's not literally an aggro card. Like some aggro decks even use it because it's so good, but it's more like a control card.
Yeah, I'm not sure about.
I kind of agree
I'm
with.
not sure I'd say that. I would say it's a control card though. It fits really well on like as the highest drop in an aggro deck.
Yeah, but that's
yeah, it's a
only
7
because
drop.
it's so good.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, I guess.
I kind of agree with Dorthor here that they should take a look at some of the late game cards.
Dr. Boom.
Yeah, Dr. Boom and like even Ragnaros. I think, but also mid-range cards in general, I would like more buffs to those because most of them are just really weak.
What?
Most minions that you play in the mid game, it's just meh, whatever.
Which ones are we referring to here?
Which one are you talking about?
I don't know.
Pilot the Sky Golem or the Shredder thing?
Not
that's
6 mana things, but things that are 4 mana, 3 mana, 5 mana.
4/5 Yeti, and the 4/3 that spawn. Whoa! I mean, I totally disagree.
I guess. It's just.
I think
we don't really
with the
see-
mechs, they added actually a lot of strong mid-range cards. Like the mech cards are played even in non-mech decks because they are simply the best.
Yeah, the Harvest Golem, turn 4 Harvest Golem.
Yeah,
Sure.
the Shredder's played in every deck now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of its stickiness.
But,
Yeah.
But outside of the Death Rattle guys, nothing is really getting played.
if you consider the nerfs that have happened in Hearthstone, like the cards that have actually been changed, I think only cards from aggressive decks have been changed and nerfed. Like I think like back to basic mage,
Flame Imp, Unleash
Flame
the Hounds.
Imps, Unleash the Hounds, mages, Pyroblasts, and stuff like that, and the Soul Fire.
Control.
I think mind control not that much.
Yeah.
Yes, but that's also really early.
Yeah,
I guess the biggest example of a recent nerf that's been to a non-aggro card is Gadget-san. But you could also argue that it was kind of a aggressive, like burst you down deck, Mercury Rogue, and it
But
wasn't
it still
just nerfed
exists.
because of that.
No, but the thing is, I think that most, I think that the late game cards have a harder time being completely out of control because if you play too many of them, you will simply lose to the aggressive decks, and the aggressive decks, if they are too strong, like there won't be any play for late game decks at all.
But actually, I think the case is that I don't think aggro is too strong. I just think that it's overrepresented on things like ladder because everyone wants to play, or most people want to play a fast deck to grind faster.
Yeah.
It highly depends on where you are on the ladder, I guess.
But that's...
Yeah, of course. But if you look at tournaments, like it's not only aggro decks in tournaments. It's actually a healthy
No,
mix.
not at all.
So I think maybe Blizzard is looking too much to the ladder for information.
But they have to.
Yeah.
They can't just let the ladder be solely represented by hunters.
But-
That wouldn't make sense.
But to be honest, it's really just because the ladder is poorly executed right now.
Yeah. But that is true as well. But
No, that's just how ladder works.
Yeah,
If you look
that's
at other
not
games,
the thing.
StarCraft, it's the same. You look at single matches in StarCraft as well, and in League, it's only one game matches.
And that's because you didn't let me finish here.
Yeah, okay.
The thing I'm talking about is that they, if you can finish a game faster, it doesn't really matter. If you have a bad win percentage, you're still gonna get more gold. So that it makes people want to play more aggressive decks, even if they're not the best. And that's why we get so many aggressive decks on the ladder. It's not because the ladder is a better format for aggressive decks than the format is.
Okay, I would never consider gold in this equation, but I see the argument that if you play a faster deck, you can climb the ladder faster is they even with a like 55% win chance compared to a control deck that has 60% win chance, simply because
exactly.
you finish the games faster.
That's
But once
not really the case necessarily, because losing drags you down so much that you have to win 2 games to get back.
Yeah, but sometimes it
yeah,
can
but that's
actually
the
pay off.
argument for playing aggro on the ladder.
Okay. What I'm talking about is we came here to this discussion from from Undertaker, right? And things are getting nerfed because they are a pain in the ass to play against. Like Undertaker, Pyroblast, all the cards we mentioned earlier, they're all like frustrating to play against. And the reason is that they happen. For Undertaker, it happened too often. And it doesn't really matter if we're talking about high level or low level right now, but the ladder in general, and that's why I'm also talking about gold, because the ladder in general wants you to play aggressive decks because of the ladder system, where you do not get anything for losing, or you do not get anything from having a long game, like in League of Legends. If you have a longer game, you get more IP or whatever. And that is why more aggressive stuff happens on ladder compared to tournaments. But I guess but oh well. Undertaker in general, I think I'll just have to disagree with Dorothon's on here with Undertaker that I like the change. I really thought it was too strong before. It was softening Yeti for 1 mana, so.
Yeah, but you kind of have to analyze why that happened. The only reason why it got to a Yeti sometimes is because that the health was out of reach for spells to kill it. That's kind of the point why me and Dario, we wanted it to change it to 1 health.
Yep.
Because a lot of the times
so it was me you agreed with.
You can kill it off with the Wrath when it gets 2 buffs. If you're playing like a droid or something like that, but it just gets out of reach with the health. That's the problem with it.
Yeah, definitely. There was actually a proposed change that a lot of people liked on Reddit, which was whenever a Death Rattle activated, it would gain the buff, and not when a Death Rattle minion was played. What are your guys' thoughts on that change instead?
It would definitely have set the card down in. I don't know. That could probably have been a valid option to do that as well. It would certainly have made the card less strong, for sure.
It changes the aggressiveness of the card, but keeps the value, right? Where if you play it, I don't know, on turn 4 or something, trades in 2 guys with Death Rattle, then it's buffs there, but you cannot really play it on turn 1 because it's still just a 1/2 for 3 turns after.
It would probably be a better nerf for Sue, but not for Hunter.
For Hunter, they don't care too much.
You don't want to trade your minions at the Hunter. You want to go face.
Yeah, no,
but
not
Sue, you want to trade.
Depends what deck you play.
Yeah.
It's mid-range Hunter, you can trade. It's fine.
If we talk about the health of the game in general, maybe is it really good that Hunter wants to go face? Not necessarily, right?
Yeah, I actually like that change better than this one.
I don't know. Yeah, I think they are both changes that could both have been used. I think the change that was made will work, but I think it was the simple solution. Simply not giving it health is the easy way to say, okay, we make it easier to kill and then it will be less strong, right? The other solution is not so easy to predict what will happen. And I think often Blizzard have gone with the easy solution.
Yeah, definitely.
Putting Unleash on 4.
Make boss 5 mana, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like they
might as well remove it, right?
But no. I don't think they overdid Undertaker as much as they did Boss Art.
No.
I think they overdid Boss Art more.
Yeah.
5 mana 3/2, you're never gonna play it.
Yeah, I agree. So let's move on from Undertaker and move into another topic. So recently, or very recently actually, what was his name again?
Holstein.
Oh yeah, some useless guy. So there was a huge debate about Hosty cheating in the Pinnacle 2 tournament a few days ago, where you could see his reflection from the second screen in whatever
He had a
image that he
mirror
had.
hanging on his wall.
Yeah. And thus one thing led to another. A lot of crises were going on, and a mass threw him off the team. So, cheating in general, this is just one person that happened to screw up, and we could see it. But like,
Yeah, if it happens with the one guy that randomly has a mirror hanging on his wall, it's probably been done by others that didn't have a mirror hanging
exactly.
on his wall.
And is there anything we can do about that? Like, can we improve
You can
the
increase
integrity?
the stream delay
Yeah, that's one thing. That's for
if
sure.
you want to do that. That is like that seems like the solution to it. But even then, there was 10 minutes delay, so it's like he lost both of his matches 3-1, I think. So it has been limited what information he has gotten. But yeah, even then, it's ethically wrong. So of course, if he cheated, then it requires consequences, right?
Yeah, definitely.
But I think the way you solve it is by increasing the stream delay. Or do you guys have other solutions? Like get good moral people to play all the time, then you can solve it. But that's hard to accomplish, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I think another solution is to pre-record the matches.
Yeah, but that's kind of the same thing, right? Then you, kind of increase the stream delay just to like a day or something like that.
Well,
Yeah.
I think with the recent problems with tournaments and such, I think more should look into pre-recording the streams, because it's actually not like, it doesn't really take anything out of the experience for the viewers, I think, personally.
If the casting is done live.
Yeah, the casting done live and just the matches pre-recorded.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't take anything out of it from the viewers, because you don't really you don't interact with the players who are currently playing.
You interact with the casters,
And there has been a ton of issues currently, like in many games, not just Hearthstone, but also in Hearthstone with DDoSing and tournaments simply like having to postpone entire tournament, as we saw with the Pinnacle, where they had to postpone it, I think, a day or two, because the DDoSing was so huge, like in every single match, that they couldn't continue. And also, I think currently at the LAN event, I think are also getting DDoSed as well, and people losing rounds that they shouldn't lose because they are forced to forfeit matches and such. It's just like, it's insane with the DDoSing right now, and I think, honestly, I personally don't think there's a big problem with pre-recorded matches. I remember specifically there was one tournament where they, I think it was pretty long ago, where they streamed and they casted it, and it was actually pre-recorded, but nobody knew it was pre-recorded. They didn't say it was pre-recorded, and it was found out like I think 2 days later that it was actually pre-recorded, and everybody was like, "Whoa, it's so fake." But nobody actually had any idea that it was pre-recorded, because like it's the same.
Yeah, how should they know?
Yeah. And you actually get the benefit of being able to have a very little delay between the casters and the chat, so you can more easily respond to whatever the chat is saying.
Yeah, and you can completely control the delay between matches as well, so you don't have to wait like 30 minutes because someone has to go to the bathroom or is having an existential crisis or something. Like, everything runs
so he doesn't show up for the match.
Everything runs
existential crisis is a sad reason to postpone a tournament. I hate when it happens.
Trump didn't know he was Trump, so he didn't come.
Who am I? Why do I even exist? What is life?
Why even?
To value or not to value? That's the Trump shit.
That is the crisis.
That's not a hard question. If you are Trump, it is to value. Must value all the time.
To win as a value.
And also, I think during our first two tournaments that we casted ourselves, we also pre-recorded, and it worked just fine.
Yeah.
There was no issues at all, and it's just usually easier. But maybe more people are tempted to do it live now that spectator actually exists. So yeah,
Even though spectators still
even though
sucks.
spectator sucks.
I don't know if it's a little bit off topic with the spectator thing, but E-Cup.
It's never off topic.
It's never off topic. E-Cup hosted some tournament also today.
Assembly Winter.
Yeah, that's the one.
Assembly
It's also
Winter,
the
right?
best.
Yeah.
They
and
got D-Dust, yeah.
Oh, they got D-Dust.
Yeah, I think number guy. He was like he was winning a game, or I know
He was
you
playing
tell-
against Nimsh. He was playing Paladin versus Mage, and he was like having muster for battle and all the crap. He like had full board control, just did 20 damage to him, and then he disconnected and lost one turn. So Nimsh got back.
Oh well, I heard that he actually came back and won
Yeah, and
afterwards,
then
but
yeah,
then the match was redone.
Yeah, even though he won the match, they made a ruling that they said everyone who got disconnected had to play the match over.
Yeah.
And he got really pissed off.
And that's
I
actually kind
can
of
imagine.
Yeah.
he won anyway.
Yeah, he 3-0'd him still, but it's still really
Sweet
bad
karma.
admin
Yeah,
work
that
by
seems like really poor admin work. At least if it was, an obvious win for him, like during the next turn or something. Yeah. I
Well,
don't know.
the thing is that you have
I didn't watch it.
the thing is you have to consider like in a tournament like at a LAN setting where multiple people get disconnected and it's a group stage where there's actually like 8 matches playing currently. You can't
You can't do a case-to-case scenario.
Yeah, exactly. Like you have to. It was the thing is the reason it was replayed is that it was a group ruling.
But then
So everybody had to replay.
if
the
you're losing,
matches.
you can just pull the plug and hey, disconnect, remake.
Yeah, but the thing is that if number guy was like, well, look at my specific match, this and this happened, then even if Nims was like, he would have won. And then if others were to hear about this, they would say, oh, but my match as well, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, that's I agree, but it's kind of
Yeah,
it's kind of weird to
sucks,
have
but-
a ruling like that where if you're losing, you can just disconnect and hey, you cannot look at the match. You have to look at the disconnect and make it.
No, but it was like multiple matches got
Yeah.
disconnected. So I don't know. It was obviously not intended.
No, that's true. But
No,
I
it's
still
never
disagree
intended
with
when you're
that.
winning, right?
but
I think you have to look at it case by case because you could see at Number Guy's case that he had lethal in hand. And you could see Nimsh's turn that he couldn't do anything about the lethal. So
Yeah,
why
but
should he win the match?
The thing is that I think the difference is that it's a LAN event, and at a LAN event usually you don't have like that much time to spare, like, and things can't be done that fast because everything just goes slower.
But it would only go faster if you just gave him the win.
No, but then admins have to look through
Yeah, they
and
have to
talk to
check it
both
out.
parties
Yeah,
and then hear additional people out and such.
Okay, but you actually had one case like this before at DreamHack Summer with Amas versus RDU, where he played the freeze mage. I think they got disconnected also, and RDU had the lethal in hand, and he still got the match for it.
Yeah, but I think that was the semifinal, I think, and that was the only match being played right there.
That was the final.
Yeah, the final, and that was the only match being played. Like everybody
But it's
was
still
looking.
the same case.
No. The thing is that this was a group stage where there was like 8 matches being played at the same time, and many people were disconnected because of the DDoS.
So can we talk about like the fact that there's no pause function in the game? Kind of like ruins that. It makes DDoS possible and disconnects and stuff. Like even Hearthstone is a turn-based game, right? You have 1.5 minutes for each turn, and games that are that require every second, they have freaking pause functions, but you can't.
Yeah, but
don't
that's
have it
the
in
thing,
Hearthstone.
right?
That
Wouldn't
kind
it
of.
mess up? Like, would the pause function only be allowed to be used during disconnects then, or what? Because pause
Yeah,
functions would
definitely.
actually influence the game because it would give you more time to think about a given play.
I think the
It would
best
be
way,
something that only your opponent could do, and it would be something restricted to a tournament mode or something like that. So your opponent, like, you can't pause the game if you're disconnected anyways, right? So for I don't know, for events like that where you disconnect because you're DDoS or whatever, you send a text and say, "Hey, can you pause the game? We are getting streamed for thousands of viewers." It's
Yeah,
kind
in
of
that
important.
specific scenario, it would be really handy. But like in most, like on the ladder everywhere else, it wouldn't make sense.
It
I
would
don't think.
destroy it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
wouldn't
don't
have
think
it on ladder, of course. Like in League of Legends, you don't have pause in random normal games on ranked either. You can only do it in these specific tournament settings.
Yep.
So I really think that stuff like that it's up to Blizzard to fix. Like we can't do anything about it, right?
But actually, I think the best solution would be to do it like they do it in chess, where there's like a stopwatch, and you have maybe, I don't know, you have like the faster you do your turns, the more time you build up. So if you
So you
disconnect,
change the entire time system.
yeah, exactly. So if you play your first 3 or 4 turns fast, like you click the end turn button fast enough, then you maybe have a 3 minutes built up of time extra that you could use if the rope goes out, and that could be used for like disconnects and such.
I'm not sure I like that system because then you'll have turns where you played a game and someone is grieving and now you have to wait 15 minutes because now he don't want to end the turn. Or you
Or
have games in tournaments where as a viewer all of a sudden there's a complicated turn and he uses 5 minutes in that specific turn
Yeah, but the
because
overall time wouldn't change that much. It would just be shifted.
It actually would, because
it
now
would.
you just lose the additional time that you don't spend on turn 1 and 2 and 3.
Well, that is true, but there is a lot
Yeah.
of people who wait until the rope anyway in tournaments and such.
Life
Famous
coach.
example is Life Coach, but also other players.
I like the idea, Dora, but I'm not sure that it would actually end up being a good result. I think it's actually
The thing is, you
part
have
of the
to.
game that you don't have long time.
Yeah.
The thing is, you could moderate it to fit, like
That's
just
true.
something like 10 seconds. Like it doesn't have to be a minute extra. It could be like 10 seconds extra, and in 5 turns you could have built up like an extra minute. And an extra minute isn't that much, but it's better than nothing.
Yeah, that's true. And in the specific problem space we were talking about, disconnecting, I'm pretty sure 2 or 3 minutes wouldn't do the difference, though.
No, probably not.
But in general, I think it could be okay, an okay system.
Well,
I don't know,
actually,
the
the
system
most
is really good in chess.
yeah, the most important part about actually fixing disconnects is to let the player know when he's actually disconnected, and not just
Yeah.
staring to the screen. That is so completely bullshit. Like there needs to be something
That's
that
true.
indicates you are fucking disconnected, because the game knows when you're disconnected.
Yeah, that's true. I've had a couple of games where I was just sitting and staring on my opponent's screen, and all of a
And
sudden,
then after like 2 minutes, you're like,
like,
oh wait, this is taking way too long.
yeah,
Then you come in
he
and it's
should have
like
ended the
3
turn
turns.
now. So and then you reconnect, and it's his turn again.
Okay, public service. The trick you do is you go in and change your
But
card
it should
pack.
have to be
Yeah.
like that.
It's a really stupid way to do it, right? Because there should be a function built in the game that shows when you're disconnected. But if you change your card back, if you are disconnected, your card back won't change on your deck. But if you're still in the game, the card back will actually change. That's the way to.
Oh.
The thing about that solution, is
Michael
also
didn't
is
know.
that you have to be aware that you're actually disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Because
stupid,
most of the
but
time
you
the
can
problem
check
is
it.
that you're not aware you're disconnected
Yeah, true.
until like it's like 3 minutes later and you're like, oh wait, what the fuck? This is taking too long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
But now people know how they can actually check it. Michael included.
Public service from Hirudra.
Yeah.
Only here on Hearthbreakers. Tomorrow you'll hear about this other awesome tricks that you know.
all the tricks to get to legends.
The Undertakers and one. Yes.
10 reasons you should listen to Hirudra. Oh well.
Season 1. He has a beard.
Yeah. Were there other cheating things we should mention? Like there is the DDoS.
DDoS.
There it is.
Oh.
DDoS.
Well, DDoS and stream sniping is probably the 2 biggest things. I
Yeah.
guess.
I think in
But
all these,
how many cases has there actually been with stream sniping? Isn't this the
This-
first one
I
that's
don't-
it's
actually
the
yeah,
first one
in-
getting caught, right?
Yeah, it's the first one being caught, I guess. But like in general, when all the streamers, like all the streamers, people are sniping them right and left, and it's. But I guess that's just
Yeah,
the
but that's
cost of.
ladder.
That's just the cost of streaming, right? I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess it's only in tournament scenarios. It's a big deal.
Yeah. There was also the texting thing with RDU.
Hi, mom.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, hi mom, and what was it? He got a local message telling him about some cards the hunter had in hand.
But I
Yeah.
think it has changed because in huge tournaments at least, people are playing on tournament accounts. If it's if it's at like a huge LAN,
Yeah.
maybe sometimes at least.
They're doing it at Assembly Winter, and that's not
Yeah,
even a big event.
Yeah.
No, they did it at IESF as well. We played on tournament accounts.
But in general, it's once again, I would just like a button where you're like, hey, tournament mode. Boop. Now your friends cannot message you, right?
Yeah.
Something simple.
The same way that they did with the spectate. Just do it like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Some easy, simple ways for you to play tournaments. Even the online tournaments, the different formats where you can use all your 9 decks and there's nothing they can do about it because like there's no way to register decks or the like, right? In these small tournaments online. Unless you're in a LAN event, it's really hard to enforce.
To check it. Yeah.
Enforce rules. So
Yeah.
that's really what I want the most. I don't care about automated tournaments, but just a mode where we can play the tournaments that are happening and at least reduce the amount of cheating as much as possible. And then do it locally, like Dorothor said earlier. But yeah, I think unless there's someone who has something to say here in the end, then I think that's the end of this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you on the next episode. Whoop whoop.